In this video, I'm going to show you how I paid my taxes with my credit card to get free hotels and free flights, and most importantly, I'll show how you can do it too. Welcome back to the Financial Freedom System YouTube channel, where I help you upgrade your mindset, money, and more so you can live a life full of financial freedom and purpose. This video is a year in the making because this time last year, I discovered something that I thought was absolutely crazy, and I discovered that I could pay my taxes using my credit card. And this is an absolute game changer. This is something that every year going forward, as long as I'm able to, I guarantee that this will be my first choice to pay my taxes. I've always done my taxes myself, and I'm very grateful that last year was my best year in business. So I have my personal taxes, but I also have my business taxes. And for me, that meant that last year I was owing money. So when I found out exactly how much I owed the tax agency, I left that until the last possible day that I could make that payment. And when trying to do that, I ran into some problems because I went to make a bank transfer from my bank to the CRA, the tax agency here in Canada, and it was over the limit as to what I could send within a regular transfer. So I didn't know what to do. So I started to scramble, and then I went onto the CRA's website, and that's when I discovered that here in Canada and many other countries around the world, you can actually pay your taxes with your credit card. You do this through a credit card payment platform, and the one that I chose last year was Plastic. It was a really simple process that I just followed the prompts on the Plastic website. It guided me through, and you actually might be able to use Plastic wherever you live as well. But one thing I will stress is regardless of what credit card payment platform you use for taxes or for your bills, for your rent or utilities, something else, you have to make sure that it's an official partner. So for me, if you're in the US, regardless of where you're watching this, if you're trying to pay your taxes off, it's really important that you visit the official tax agency's website and you look at the partnerships that they have. I obviously wanted to pay my taxes on time, so after doing some research and finally jumping into it, I followed the instructions, made my payment, and the beautiful thing was it went through on that same day right away, and I was pumped. And an important note for those of you who are looking at using Plastic to pay off your taxes here in Canada this year, according to their website, it appears like they're not supporting payments to the CRA, which is pretty unfortunate because it's been around and people have been using it to pay off their taxes since 2013 is what I read. Last year's process was super simple, but for the sake of this video, the same steps still work. And that's what I'm going to go over right now. And I want to just stress, regardless of where you're watching this from whatever country around the world, I think it's really important to do things officially, to look through your tax agency's website, give them a call and say, what platforms are you partnered with so I can use my credit card to pay off my taxes if that's what you're interested in. So let's talk about why I chose to pay off my taxes with my credit card. And the very first reason is, well, I like rewards points, and specifically, I like American Express membership rewards points. This has been something that I have stepped into the world of travel hacking, credit card usage, and really making sure that my money goes as far as possible. Well, I know if I'm spending something, I want to get something back in return. And for me, I targeted those rewards points. The second thing is that the payment was made on the exact same day. And in my case, because I had left it so late, just life happens. That's naturally how I like to do things as well. But because I left it until the last minute possible to pay my taxes, and my first method of doing a bank transfer didn't work out, I needed something else. So the fact that it was a same day payment was something I was really excited about. So this is something, depending on the platform that you're using to do this, you might want to look at their processing times. But if you can get same day payment right away, that's great. The third thing is the fact that my spending bonus of my brand new credit card was achieved way faster. And for me, I had recently, just before I discovered that I could actually pay my taxes with my credit card, I received the American Express Business Platinum card. This is a card that I have been looking at for a while now. It's got a lot of, I would really say, luxury rewards and luxury bonuses as a result of having it. So it's worth it for me and the lifestyle that I live. But at the exact same time, one of the things I had to do was I had to hit a spending bonus, which for some people could be considered quite large and spend a certain amount of money within the first 3 months, and I would obtain 120,000 membership rewards points through Amex. And for me, that's the equivalent to a flight in business class to Europe and back for absolutely free. For the fact that I'm using my credit card, that is what I'm getting. And for me, I probably still would have achieved that spending bonus over the course of the 3 months. But for example, using this to pay off my taxes meant that I got it in the first month. So I was able to have access to those points so much faster. The fourth thing is that you actually have more time to pay off your taxes if you use a credit card, because when you make that initial purchase on your card, obviously you actually don't pay that. That's how credit works until that bill is due in, let's say, 30 days or the next month. So this was something that for me, it was like, oh, I've got this large amount of money to pay. I could just pay it all in full right now. Or at the same time, I could take that, make my credit card payment, get the bonus rewards points, and then I don't have to pay it. The amount's not going to change either until a month later. So I saw it as like a win-win scenario. And the fifth thing is ultimately, I get to take taxes, which are typically a negative thing, which are a daunting, heavy thing that often really kind of weighs on people. And I get to flip that narrative, and I get to turn my taxes into something that was actually positive. And I turn those taxes into free hotels and free flights. And this is a hack that for me, like I said before, I will be using every tax season that's coming. So let's talk about the 4 steps to see how I did it. Well, the very first thing is you need to create an account on a credit card payment platform. And again, you need to make sure that it is an official, it's an endorsed credit card payment platform that people and really your official tax agency supports. Step 2 is to choose your tax type. And for me, I was a balance of personal as well as business taxes. So that's what I needed to fill in. Step 3 is to actually enter the amount that you owe your tax agency. And this isn't a number that you get to choose. This is once your taxes have been filed, once you've determined if it's personal or business tax or something different. And then from there, they're going to send you a balance that you owe. And this is the amount that you have to enter. And this is the amount that you have to pay. Now, with plastic last year, and every processing platform is a little bit different, my fees were 2.49%. That might apply. It might be lower. It might be higher depending on the platform that you're using. So make sure that you do your homework. So for me, the fee was 2.49%. Let's imagine that you had to pay a tax amount of $10,000. So if we look at that, option 1 is you can pay that tax and you don't get anything in return. That doesn't sound too fun. In my opinion, that's a lose-lose scenario. But that win-win scenario that I talked about before is you can pay your taxes and you can get rewards points back in return. But you need to make sure that the math adds up to actually determine if it's worth it or not. Let's take that $10,000 and let's look at that fee of 2.49%. That means that when that is applied, your total payment using the processing platform would be $10,249. I used my American Express Business Platinum card, which is one of the best cards out there. You get 1.25 times the points for every dollar that you spend. So spending that $10,000, that's actually equal to 12,500 membership rewards points. And to keep the math simple, those 12,500 rewards points are actually equal to $249. So is that worth it? Well, if I was to go onto the Amex website and look at how much those points cost, you can get 100 points for $3. So that means that 12,500 membership rewards points would actually cost me $375 if I was to buy them outright. So for me, that deal makes sense. And the 4th step is to pay the balance in full. I've got no interest in interest, and I don't mess around when it comes to paying my credit card bill, especially when my taxes have been lumped into that. And now that you understand why I wanted to pay my taxes off with my credit card, or how I did it, or if it's actually worth it or not, I think we need to get strategic on how you can take advantage of this. The very first thing that I would do is I would sign up for a new credit card, or maybe make sure that I'm using a card that has really good rewards points. But when you sign up for a new card, you often get a spending bonus that says, hey, you spend this amount of money within this amount of time, and we'll give you these bonus extra points. And that's really where you can start stacking and building up a really good points portfolio. The next thing I would do is I would take all of my purchases, and I'm going to say, make your purchases on this card, and I basically transfer over, depending on what the spending bonus is, all of the regular purchases that I do. And then from there, that's going to help me achieve that spending bonus even faster. The third thing, if you are able to jump in and use a payment platform, so let's say pay taxes with a credit card payment platform, a CCPP. And the benefit of that is it's going to, again, help you achieve that spending bonus so much faster when you've got a large lump sum of a couple $1,000s, maybe 10,000, or maybe even more than that, depending on what the platform allows you to make a maximum payment of. And once you've done all that, it's fun because you actually have earned the sign-up bonus. And then you can continue to earn rewards just from using that card. And like I said before, this has been one of the biggest hacks. This is one of the things that I will continue to do year after year, as long as they let me, paying off my taxes with my credit card. And I want to make sure that you understand, always do things officially. So visit your tax agency's website, see in your country or where you live what platforms you're actually able to use to do this, if you're even able to do this at all. And at the exact same time, make sure that you always check with your accountant or a professional financial advisor if you're going to do something like this. So I hope that this video helped. If you want to let me know any questions that you have, please go ahead and drop them down below. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. And most importantly, if you're interested in learning how you can live a life full of financial freedom, please click the subscribe button.